We are back for our last series of the day for the DOTA Open FSL 3. So yeah, I started a bit. I'm a Tromo, and joining me is Sophie, and we're going to be bringing you Pacific Pink versus Marci, my waifu. And this match is very important for one reason. What's that, Sophie?
Because it's the last one of the day.
That's the correct answer, but also because whoever wins
Oh,
this
this is a
series,
deciding one.
there you go.
Right.
It's good to know that our 30-minute prep for this really you can tell it's really dug in there. But all right,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, both teams have taken one win and one loss as well. So whoever wins this match, 2-0 will be able to advance. If not, if they go 1-1, we'll have a tiebreaker of some sort. We'll keep you guys in suspense to what it is. But the draft is on the way, so we're going to go in and let's see what they're picking so far. And Pacific Stink start. I was gonna say Pacific Stink, and I was like, that's so mean. And then I said it anyway.
So
Pacific Pink starts off with the Tide Hunter Wars. Marci, my waifu, with the Snapfire. And Snapfire is my waifu. What about you?
I do love Snapfire. I mean, I really enjoyed seeing the way that Mira played it in TI. Very like bold plays with the blink and the shard and the Lotus Orb. That's my favorite way to play Snapfire, honestly.
Yeah, I like the hero a lot as well. Pretty solid against the Tide Hunter. I get, getting people a little bit away from him. The minus armor is pretty good. If you get close, you can Scatter Blast you. So, and of course she's a bit flexible. We have actually seen Yopaj on Ruby Neon play her as a mid. Getting all those damage talents for the little shredder and going crazy with it. So, I like the Sapphire as well. They are taking forever with their reserve time, though. We are down to 20 seconds from Marci, my waifu.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy using all the reserve time like that. But the Tide Hunter pick's also pretty standard. And Rubik. Ooh, I like that. Steal some Ravages, maybe.
I think that what every Rubik player thinks whenever they pick a game. I'm gonna steal the black hole and the Ravage and the global size.
I mean, has to be, right?
Sure, all right, good for you. I hope you can hit them all.
I mean, you have the choice of stealing those small spells or that one huge spell.
There comes Thunder Thighs, Dawnbreaker. I'm a big fan of Dawnbreaker. I like that she can be played in basically any position. The global presence is really good. And if she's a support, I think she has a pretty decent time against both the Rubik as well as the Snapfire.
Yeah, I love the Dawnbreaker pick. I am a big fan of what she does, just standing her ground in the lane. And she's got quite, nice movement with the Celestial Hammer. And yeah, the global presence, as you were saying, playing Dawnbreaker as any position. You can really just farm and then head to fight whenever you're needed.
You know what's my one problem with Dawnbreaker? When you use Celestial Hammer, you have to dictate the distance. I have no idea why you would ever not use the max distance for Celestial Hammer.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, why am I really ever going to use a 200 range Celestial Hammer? No, I'm always going to throw it max range every time because that's the benefit. It's not like the movement speed, the speed increases or decreases based on distance.
Yeah, well, I guess in some cases, when you want the damage of it, how you throw it out does damage and you pull it back, it does damage. And if someone's close to you, if you want to do faster damage, I guess maybe it depends. It's really specific situations, I guess, where you would use it, but most of the time
I still feel like it'd be a nice quality of life change if every time I press W it goes the full distance and I don't have to move my screen a bit because it's you have to target it, so you have to move your screen a little bit over to the edge. Either way, yeah, I do like what they have with Pacific Pink right now. Dawnbreaker and Tide Hunter Ravage into
10 seconds remaining.
Solar Guardian. Oh my god, that took me a second to get.
Solar
Guardian.
It's a lot of AoE. It's good heals, good control.
Yes, it is. And if this is a 4 Dawnbreaker, I think that top lane it's top lane for Radiant side will be very strong.
Yeah, the Gush followed by the Starbreaker, basically what was that, half HP at least of someone.
Yep.
So Snapfire, if she's ever in opposition or something, she'll be in a lot of trouble. But because of the cookie, she can save herself or an ally. And Gyrocopter coming out from Marci, my waifu. Definitely a hero the Tide Hunter kind of has a little bit of trouble going too close to. The Rocket Barrage is annoying to deal with, and of course the Flak Cannon means that you're almost always going to be cupping a few hits.
Right. but that stunned the Kraken shell,
10 seconds
maybe
remaining.
won't connect as much as this gyro will hope so. I mean, that's the worst
5
thing is when you're
seconds
chasing after a
remaining.
Tide Hunter and you got a billion, spells
Radiant
on him, but he
team
just,
pick.
gets them all off with
Phantom
the Kraken
Assassin.
shell. The PA pick,
Ooh.
very interesting there. I felt like PA hasn't been like as strong this meta. I don't really, you know, feel that it's the best carry this meta, I'd say, but what do you think about it?
It's always one of those things where you
10
think
seconds
a
remaining.
hero's not doing so well or something, but you go check out their win rate; it's very different. I think Phantom
5
Assassin is actually
seconds
one of the most
remaining.
more successful carries. She's like at
Mm.
54% win rate or something like that,
Oh wow.
and she's being spammed a lot by Yataro, who was, as you mentioned, you're talking about Mira, how he's plays, and I'm like, yeah, but PA is being played a lot by Yatoro, so
Ah.
he clearly thinks she's very good because he's not picking her for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Another hero that I thought was sort of dumpstered was Omni Knight because Heavenly Grace can be dispelled. I was like, this hero is gone. People
Mm-hmm.
will just Yule Scepter anyone who's Heavenly Grace, but no, he's the most successful support. He's like 56% win rate.
Dire
So
team pick.
so just because we don't see a hero sometimes doesn't mean that they're not like you'd think they do badly, but they're actually doing well, which is crazy. Disruptor coming out, so it is going to be the 4 Dawnbreaker.
Radiant
Ooh, very
team
interesting.
ban.
There's a lot of AoE
Legion
spells
Commander.
now with the Disruptor Static Storm as
Oh,
well. The Legion Commander pickup, very nice.
I hate being disruptor against Legion Commander. You throw out the Thunder Strike, you're like, all right, I'm gonna harass. Watch this, everyone. She immediately presses the attack, and you're like, no, it's gone. It's useless. It
10
is.
seconds remaining.
It's the worst thing in the world to be disruptor against Legion Commander. So,
Especially when you get that
5
shard as
seconds
well.
remaining.
oh yeah,
That
and
makes a big difference. Walking out of those the field, static what is it? The plasma what is it?
kinetic field.
Kinetic field. Yeah, right. You just
Yeah. See,
walk out of those.
how can I remember the name of these spells when I'm on the verge of Alzheimer's? And you're
Dire
like, there's
Oh
just
team
my
like
ban.
there's just so many, It's my brain is just melting.
it's like 500 spells, and you can't remember kinetic field. It's so
I
easy.
know.
Yeah, I wonder how I feel about this disruptor pick against the Legion Commander. I don't love it, to be frank
10
with you, but
seconds remaining.
I mean, obviously, the disruptor was picked before the
Radiant
Legion
team
Commander, so you
ban.
can't blame the guy. Sorry, the
Right.
girl.
A lot of
But
good spells for Rubik to steal right now, though. I mean, you can only imagine there's a Ravage if she manages to get into the range of Solar Guardian when it's being cast, maybe in the middle of a team fight, or even the Celestial Hammer, the
Dire
Disruptor
team
Static
ban.
Storm. There's a lot of potential for the Rubik here.
maybe the Thunder Strike and the Glimpse, there's
Oh,
like
yeah, that
basically
too.
Rubik will never be annoyed by anything you get from Disruptor. As long as it's like a
Mhm.
maxed out spell, it's all good. Like Thunder Strike does so much damage. It's like a 9-second cooldown. It's a fantastic
Radiant
spell.
team pick.
And all right, so we need a mid for Pacific Pink. So something to bring this all together. I'm kind of feeling like it might be a Spirit, one of the Spirit brothers, or is it a Dawnbreaker mid and they pick a position 4 now?
We will have to see. With still a
10
lot of
seconds
reserve
remaining.
time on Pacific Pink and barely any on Dire.
5
Well, that's
seconds
Marci, my
almost
waifu.
fun. But at the same time, for Marcy, my waifu, maybe they're using Pacific Pink's time to think. They're like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
they're like, we will use all our reserve time so the enemy team doesn't have any time to. Well, we're picking.
Dire team
Now,
pick.
here we go. What is it going to be? It's going to be all right. So this
You
is
were right.
Spirit. To be fair, saying a Spirit goes mid is sort of like cheating because it's like it's always this.
Oh yeah,
What?
that is true.
It's like I think this Phantom Assassin will be carry. Like, yeah, well, duh.
Yeah.
But
But
it is
it's
gonna.
interesting because
10
with the Legion
seconds
Commander press the attack, you're gonna be able to purge off those
Wind
chains.
Ranger at
So,
your
Choose your
service.
hero.
it might be a little tough for Ember to play around it.
So this is gonna be the mid Wind Ranger. I mean, probably against the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit nowadays they go with the max Flame Guard, which is a build I always thought that was really good. They max out the Flame Guard with the talents as well. You get the extra damage as well as the extra durability. The hero is just a lot tankier. So I like it. I like Pacific Pink's draft quite a bit. I love the position for Dawnbreak. You got Tide Hunter, you got Ember Spirit. Phantom Assassin is a good hero right now, and 1-to-1, I think she can crush the Gyrocopter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it. I like Pacific Pink's draft. What about you?
I do like Pacific Pink Shots just because they get that Dawnbreaker. I love seeing new heroes, as I mentioned. Seeing them being played. Seeing what cool things people come up. But I don't know. I think I like it. Kind of feels a bit scrappy, like Marcy, my waifu, their draft. Like it feels like they have a lot of, you know, um, potential to fight because they don't really have these like big
Prepare for battle.
team spells. I mean, they do have the gyro ult and they do have the Mortimer's kisses, but it's nothing. It doesn't feel the same as like a huge ravage
Ravage,
followed by
yeah.
static storm. Yeah. So I think I have hope for Marcy, my waifu.
Well, all right, cool. We disagree a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. And they do have really good combos with the L state, like more Snapfire Kisses into duels almost guaranteed. Like it's a guaranteed kill every time. You also
Yeah.
combine it with a focused fire. There's a lot of damage you can do. And John putting out 11,000 matches on the Legion Commander player, which is very impressive.
Wow. That is. I mean, look at that set. That's a beautiful set. Let me say.
I'm looking at
30
the
seconds to
PA set. I love PA Arcana, but I'm not sure that I
I'm
like
an
the extra
immaterial
stuff she
girl.
has. Like the Arcana's great, but
Oh yeah, I think there are better sets to put on top. I think.
yeah, it's like the PA Arcana. I think is just so good, and then this one's like.
Look at the Wind Ranger Arcana. Looks so cute.
Let me see.
Looks like a Disney
she's,
princess.
and she's got like those butterfly wings. That's super
the
cute.
battle begins.
Yeah, nice addition.
I like it. Let's see. I love the Wraith King Arcana was good. I don't like the Ogre Arcana. I don't know why, but it feels super weird to me that he's like on some sort of donkey or whatever animal
It's
he's
like a
on.
it's like a chicken thing, right? And
Yeah, I
it
don't
poops
like
eggs.
Looks a bit strange to me, to be honest. Queen of Pain has a nice Arcana.
Whoa!
What?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
What? Queen of Pain has a nice Arcana. Did I say something wrong?
No. It's. You didn't want to say Wraith King's Arcana, maybe? You don't like Wraith King?
Oh, Wraith King's also great. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes him the Skeleton King, which is what he really is, after all.
Right. There's the Starbreaker doing its work. It's showing some dominance in the lane.
And look at that, like the Gush with the Starbreaker, if they can get it all like together, that's gonna be so much damage for them. Does Starbreaker... Starbreaker does not have an Orb of Venom, but she does have the boots, so she shouldn't have any problem chasing.
Boots and Tango is like something like the meme with my friends because they always give me a hard time for it when I do it. I guess it's just a bit greedy, especially when you can get stats in the lane to do some extra harass damage. Because I mean, movement speed, it's not gonna do that much for you early on in the game, but
It's
to
very
each their
odd.
own.
It's very hard to see that the Tidehunter and the Dawnbreaker aren't really coordinating their spells. Like every time Dawnbreaker does the Starbreaker, the enemy's not gushed. They're not slowed down by it. So that's a little bit odd to see.
There's what you were talking about, the press the attack from the Thunder Strike, doing nothing. Oh, but there it is, the first blood
Time to feed.
of the Tidehunter.
Both spells were used by everyone used all their spells, and there's a lot of damage when you look at it. Gush followed by Anchor Smash with the Celestial Hammer as well. Starbreaker, there's a ton of damage. And if Gyrocopter's not facing the right way, then Sapphire's Cookie is useless. So this top lane could be a pretty brutal lane for your team.
You know what's cute though is that Snapfire and Gyro, they're like husband and wife. They're like grandpa and grandma.
I guess they are in a way, aren't they?
Yeah, you ever think about that? Isn't that cute? Alright. Bottom lane. Looks like it's going alright for Radiant side. Vinx is taking quite a bit of damage. She does have that 8 stick though. Press the attack is ready. Also, she's sitting with full mana in the lane. I think she can use that press the attack just to get the heals off. Her mana will eventually regen anyways.
Radiant's middle tower.
Our
is
Wind
under
Ranger
attack.
is leading in the last hits as well. Bing's still not using the press the attack. I think she's saving it for when someone uses a skill though, but I think she could use it for that extra heal. Oh, there it is.
There's your heal.
There's your heal. Oh, and the glimpse back into the lane, but she can man up. She's got 1 skill in Moment of Courage. So she might just want to fight for that extra life. So that's the fairy fire. Ooh, but magic will finish her off. With a stifling dagger.
Minky wants to make sure she can get revenge for her friend, but may not be worth it. And yeah, Minky decided to go back. Still full HP, but doesn't have enough. And in terms of last hits, it's looking pretty good for Pacific Pink right now, particularly in the bottom lane because Legion Commander. I thought she'd do a slightly better, just because press the attack is just so good.
Oh, there's the cookie. A little harass coming off on our Tidehunter, but our Tidehunter now has the Soul Ring. Very nice for 6 strength and 2 armor. Already so chunky without it.
And
getting chunky with
no little shredder on the Snapfire, going for the max Scatterblast build, which I kind of prefer. I know all the pros don't do it because little shredder, like, it's got so much value, but I like getting max Scatterblast and just you can farm so much faster with it, get your items up, level up faster. But where do you fall on the Scatterblast versus little shredder debate?
I definitely max out the little shredder, but I think, like, I guess if you're playing in your pubs, it would be okay to do like max Scatterblast because I guess little shredder does take a bit of coordination. You know, if your pause one isn't really trading hits, then you know your little shredder isn't really gonna do that much damage. I guess so. I guess the safe way is the Scatterblast and cookie way. You know.
You make a good point. It's like if my friend isn't like taking advantage of the -6 armor, then what's the point of little shredder?
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
Oh,
it looks like they're gonna go into Kazel. It will connect the Starbreaker. There it is. Stun comes off though, so she doesn't get the slam. And Kazel gets out totally fine. Shalma has the salve.
I must say the best part playing Dawnbreaker is landing the 3rd Starbreaker hit.
Oh yeah.
Because what you do is like doosh, doosh, and then you land the 3rd one. It's like, oh, that's just so good, and you catch like 1 or 2 people.
Yes, it feels so good. The Starbreaker. The whoosh whoosh donk. What a feeling.
And she was denied the donk just now.
Yeah, she
got
was.
The whoosh whoosh, but no
donk. Oh.
There's something going for 2 points at Thunder Strike. I'm not sure how I feel about this, basically because you're never really going to be using it. Like, Thunder Strike is just so useless when you're up against the LC, and you might want to consider maxing out the Glimpse. At the same time, like, Glimpse gives you no damage, and unless you're winning the game, Glimpse is actually kind of useless as a spell. So,
but being maxed out does have that insane range to help you, you know, chase those heroes or, you know.
Yeah, but that's only viable if you're actually winning fights. When you're losing fights, you know, like the 3 people jump on you, you're like, all right, I guess I'll glimpse one of them back. All the other 2 kill me. So
yeah,
that's the thing about Disruptor. Very good hero to play from the front, but very useless when you're behind.
Have you ever played DOTA Underlords?
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's really interesting how Disruptor was considered a brawny hero.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's Intel. So, just the little fun facts.
I liked when he was brawny and warlock, and he gets like this giant stack storm. You're like, all right, this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, brawny heroes are really busted.
They still are. I can't wait for the next patch for the Underlords. I'm sure it's coming any day now.
Okay. Actually, Legion Commander is really strong on the list, but there's the cookie and the stun. Oh, she's got this little shredder now onto the Tidehunter, but our Tidehunter's so chonky. It's just feeling like tickles.
They saw that the Wind Ranger was rolling bottom, so they want to make sure that Dawn's here to help them out. And in the end, Wind Ranger just decides to go back.
With my thanks.
Oh well, Dawnbreaker is going for has a Tranquil Boots and a wand, and that's it. I'm excited to see what she goes for.
Ooh. There's the Celestial Hammer with the Starbreaker in, but she is also denied the donk once again from the telekinesis.
Let her donk, people!
Let her donk. It's fun because, you know, it's like Snapfire, you know, doesn't do that much damage. The little shutter's only level 1, so it is really like tickles from grandma.
It's like 20 damage. It's so sad. I remember when it first came out though, those shredder did a lot more damage, like 35 or something. That was a ton.
Our Dawnbreaker looks like she's in a bit of a pickle. The Focus Fire is used. She will try to Celestial Hammer away, and she succeeds in doing so. The next level play. Ooh, Bings looks like she's in a tough spot. Yep. They will not go further. She still has... Oh! Nice, she's salved up by Minky.
By the way, I just realized that if you duel anyone, the Solar Guardian will be on top of you, and that will make it pretty hard for Elsie to win duels. I thought that yeah, you have Snapfire with more kisses, then you have enough damage. And I still think you do even with the Solar Guardian, but now it feels like dueling comes with a lot of extra risk that I didn't think about until now.
That is very true. I mean, you can get if you get dueled, you have what the Static Storm, the Guardian, like, you know, so many things to just. I mean, they don't really have nukes is the thing on. Marci is my waifu. Yeah. You look at their team. There's no like finger Laguna Blade. You know, skills like that. No sharpshooter. And there's the Ravage out onto where Gyro Kazel is going to be not punished because she can just TP because we don't have the Starbreaker right now.
Just like it was already used, and that's a pretty big investment, and not to get anything out of it is going to hurt them quite a bit. Like, you expected the Tidehunter. We know, I mean, she's doing well, that's great, but you expected her to get something out of the Ravage. And I'm looking, do we have any stacks? No stack? Oh, there's a stack on the Dire Triangle. But the Radiants also have, they have a bigger stack. They have a 4 stack right now, the Ember Spirit's taking.
Wow. Yeah, if I heard it correctly, I think the audio cue, I heard both the whoosh whoosh donk and the boosh of the Ravage come off at the same time. So I think that might have been a bit of a misplay there.
Could you do that Ravage sound again? What was it?
Oh,
this is what we're gonna do all day. We're gonna be like, they did the signs of fist.
Oh, there's the Shackle onto our PA Magic. Looks like she is gonna go down with a duel secured as well. Glimpse is not enough to protect our friend here. Magic. Olivia is also going to go down as well. Trying to defend this tier 1 bottom tower, but they cannot. Good plays.
Great rotation. Marci, my waifu, fighting back, and they need to, like, they gotta do this because this is a very important match for them. They have to go 2-0 if they want to advance in the tournament.
But they are looking strong right now. I mean, taking that early bottom tower.
Getting Sapphire to level 6 is very important because then that's your biggest combo with the duel. And Sapphire, she's like 5 and a third, so. And I don't think she got the tome either. It looks like the tome went to Rubik. Classic Rubik players, always taking the tome.
Classic. But we do have the level 6 honor Sapphire already, so it's looking like we can maybe do a team fight. Yeah, they don't have Ravage right now for at least 20 more seconds. And 3 of Marci, my waifu, is smoked out. It's funny how they're Marci, my waifu, but they can't even play their waifu.
Oh, that's true. She's still she's not allowed in captain's mode yet.
Looks like they're gonna go up the hill. They're spotted by the Tidehunter, who does not have Ravage yet for 3 more seconds. He cancels. His lobs are out. Bings uses press the attack. Will he use the Ravage? He duels. Like you said, there's a Solar Guardian, but it doesn't really do anything to stop. When she's gonna get glimpsed away, even though they could have killed that Sunbreaker, but they do! With the power shot, very nicely done, and the Shackle comes off onto the Ember. They're gonna chase this Ember down.
Oh, here we go, Rubik versus Ember. Oh, I guess not.
Oh my gosh, have you seen that one clip?
I did.
Where there was like the Ember and the Rubik just juking each other?
I was hoping we'd see something like that as well, but you know, Minky was like, nah.
I definitely don't know how to use the Fire Remnant, so.
Do you think that's why she didn't use it? She's like, no, maybe I can.
No,
use
I think she did, but it was kind of risky, I guess, if she just went up since there's a PA waiting at the top tower. I mean, that the triangle.
They do have Ravage available if they need to use it, though. So this is their chance. And in terms of net worth, the Radiant's still leading, but just a tiny bit, though. Disruptor, I feel like we haven't seen much of Disruptor in this game, but so it is available. It does have a Static Storm. Sorry, I mean, it's level 6, and Static Storm will be up in a bit.
Seems like they might try to make a play here. They're going into the bottom triangle. Will we see them take anyone? Maybe? They're just warding up?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It kind of feels like everyone is on their toes right now, you know? There's some tensions.
Waiting for the other one to make a move because...
Yeah.
And, well, at the end of the day, I still think the Radiant's late game is just really good. I mean, Tidehunter, we've seen them go like Blink Dagger to double, Pressure Orb. Shiva's guard, the double ravage is
Dire's
insanely
bottom
valuable.
tower is
So I
under
think
attack.
that's a factor. PA is really strong late game. I don't know if she's stronger than the gyrocopter, but 1-on-1 at least she's strong. In the team fight, it's hard to say though.
But when the gyrocopter, I mean, I think it'll eventually get the MKB, right? I
Oh yeah, you
feel
have
like
to.
this PA just might get, shredded, I
I mean, you
guess you
can
could
see
say.
actually Windranger's going for the MKB right now because the evasion strat, you get like 85% evasion with the talent. That's crazy.
That is insane, actually. And they don't really have, I guess they don't really have that much like burst magic damage on the side of Dire to go through this PA without having, physical, true strike or whatever.
They don't, and they don't really have a good source of break. But Silver Edge, I mean, Jericho buying Silver Edge is pretty common though. It's not a big thing. Oh, there's
Ooh, and there's a Shackle with an easy duel. More kisses are used as well. Ember sees them. Oh, Tidehunter with a big ravage hits 4 heroes. The Static Storm is on top of it as well, but where's the kinetic field to hold them in? Verity's just gonna run out, does not die to Sleight of Fist, and their Disruptor's gonna run, little piggy run, chase him down. She still has the glimpse, so she can still make use of it. Thunder Strike is used. Maybe gonna. Oh, she is now out, but it looks a bit divey. Our NM is taking damage to the tower as well as the Scatter Blast. Ooh, Rubik stole that glimpse. Our Disruptor getting punished for that one.
Even though she had glimpse, I think it's only level 2, so the range is not that impressive. But I do think she could have used it way earlier on the Rubik. You know, like she kind of, like when she used it, they were already so near the enemy base, and the kinetic field had already done its work. So you weren't glimpsing them back to where they were 4 seconds ago. It was more like 2 seconds ago, and you were near the enemy base. So very awkward fight coming out. The Ravage was pretty good, but the follow-up was just not good. And you lose Dawnbreaker very early.
Yeah, I have to agree with you that the follow-up was... It definitely could have been much better.
Legion Commander with 30 damage at 15 minutes in. That's pretty good. That must feel pretty great. You know, you're like, I'm getting the damage.
That is quite a lot. I mean, imagine when she gets that level 12 leveled up duel. That's gonna be even more damage.
That's a lot of damage, right?
It is a lot of damage. It's interesting because, it's always fun to see whether people take the 30 dual damage versus the 400 AoE press attack. But I feel like that one's always a no-brainer,
Please tell me you think this is the 400 AoE press attack.
Oh, of course!
Oh my god. Because I can't imagine. Can you imagine you reach level 25 on LC and someone takes the dual damage? You're like, you idiot! Why do we need more damage? Get us.
But that's the thing, like, I want to see people take the other talents, but it seems like they might be able to find the PA, and they do indeed. Solar Guardian is coming out, but it doesn't do much. It's not able to save the PA. The Static Storm is up as well onto our Snapfire and Bang. Oh, did you just hear that? Rubik stole it, but it didn't go all the way through. Our Ember is just trying to escape, with the rest of his team struggling. See, it's, what I was saying is this Rubik really has so many spells to steal.
Yeah, Marci, my waifu, is just doing an amazing job. They're getting the kill on the PA. She's still second net worth, and I don't think she's going to be dropping from there anytime soon, but shutting him down even for a little bit makes a big difference. And she's gone for the Battle Fury build, so she just wants to farm, she doesn't want to fight too much. Going for Deso after, so even after the Deso, she might need the BKB to be able to actually engage. So it is a big shopping list before the PA is ready to fight.
Big shopping list. Yeah, I mean, I feel like PA, it's always the same items that you see them building over and over again. I mean, it's rarely ever where you see something different. It's always the Battle Fury, the Deso, then the BKB, then, Basher, or...
Play enough pubs, you'll see the PA with the Dagon. I crit, then I Dagon, he dead. I'm like, yes.
I have seen the Echo Saber PA, though.
I've seen that one too. I mean, I guess it's decent stats, but I don't think you need the double attack because you get so much extra damage from Blink Strike. I mean, attack speed from Blink Strike.
Yeah, I think I'm not exactly sure what circumstance you use that in. Maybe if you have like a Magnus on your team where you don't have to buy the Battle Fury, but maybe you want just that extra little, farming help. But I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a safe flame player myself, so
no, I mean,
I don't have the best insight.
Like even with the Magnus, you wouldn't want because you have Blink Strike to give you attack speed.
Right.
So the extra, it's like getting Echo Saber on Ursa. You already have attack speed. Why you don't need more of it?
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
Looks like Radiant's gonna
Dire's
try to
top
push
tower
this
is under
tier 2
attack.
tower.
Philosopher's Stone on Disruptor. That is the best. Like
The
that
Money
way,
Rock!
the money right. That's when you're like, all right, I'll be able to get you guys. What do you want? Aghanims? I'll get an aghanim. You know,
Radiant's bottom tower
I mean,
I-
Ags
is under
is
attack.
great on Disruptor.
it's like one of the best ag upgrades in the game. Although you do have to use it before BKB comes out. It doesn't like if you use it in their BKB, it's not an AOE Doom exactly. But other than that, it's fine.
It looks like they might try to get each other's middle tower. Always a hard one to play for because, you know, people can come from both sides rather than, you know, one of these top or bottom tier 1 towers where, you know, most likely where they're coming from.
4 people on the raid are smoked up. They are leaving the carry PA here. Where are they gonna go find? If they walk up the way they're going, they might find the Snapfire first. No, they turn right, and there's an LC, a much juicier target.
They
Nope, it's a Snapfire.
will find the Snapfire, yep. There's the Starbreaker. Whoosh whoosh donk. She gets it off, but she misses this. Oh, does she have a Glimmer Cape?
Yeah,
Oh,
she did.
nice. I
That's
think
actually-
if she like had a quick TP
Radiant
there, maybe she
structures
could have got
are
out.
fortified.
A very optimistic TP there, you know? Ooh, and there's the duel onto the Titan, but the Solar Guardians up as well, and the Gyro ult. They aren't able to finish the duel. The Ravage comes off with a very nice static storm on top of it. Very well played, but the Titan still goes down to Meridy's Focus Fire. Will they go for more? Ember getting hit by the Thunderstrike. It was a very nice play there by Disruptor. Olivia had a very nice static storm on top of that Ravage.
Yeah, but after all the hits are traded, it's just an offlaner for an offlaner, and both teams will probably be like, eh. Still, if you are gonna say who's gonna be the winner, I think Marci, my wife, won that because the Tidehunter Ravage is way longer cool, and that was forced to come out just now.
Yeah, that is true. But they didn't get the dual damage off, so
Well, that's
you know.
I mean, still,
I mean-
like, you know, you have duel available now, but you have Ravage available in 105 seconds.
Yeah, that is true. And we also have the Blink on our Legion. We don't have Blink on our Tide because I guess why do you think that the Halberd was the first item to get for the Tide?
But just because it's like Gyrocopter Wind Ranger, right? Like 5 seconds with these guys.
Ah,
like,
right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's another duel onto the Ember Spirit. The Glimpse trying to save him. And it can! The globs, the Mortimer's Kisses doing the work. Like you said, the duel and the Mortimer's Kisses doing so much damage and securing those easy duels.
It is getting a little scary if you're a fan of Pacific Pig because Marci and my
Radiant's
Waifu, they're
middle
just
tower has fallen.
they're just playing this really well. You know, they're getting the duel followed by the Snapfire Kisses. They're finding these solo targets. The duel, what are we on? 60 duel damage? That's a lot
big.
of duel damage.
That is a lot. And they got Ember. I mean, that is a huge pick-off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nice clarity. You know, you always gotta carry clarities. It's like water, as I was once told.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's
under
magic
attack.
water. It's not even
Yeah,
like-
magic water.
Fills up your
Radiant
magic bar.
structures are fortified.
Apparently, right? That's how it works.
Of course. Your magic bar that is blue. Actually, water is not blue, but we associate water with blue.
Moon of illusion.
I think it's because we always see it in swimming pools
Yeah.
as blue. Like even here, the water looks like it's blue, but I mean, what is it on? It's not on blue ground. It shouldn't be blue.
That's true. Why is water blue? Is it like the reflection of light? Oh! Things got debated by our Ember Illusion. But, you know, it's an easy mistake that a lot of us would make. Myself, I definitely would.
So after we solve why the sky is blue, can we talk about why grass is green? Like we'll just go through all of those one by one.
Because of... Isn't there like a thing that starts with a
Radiant
C?
are
Is it like... chlorophyll or...
Where's my pigeon?
something like that, right?
Dire's middle
I think
tower
that's something they
is
put
under
in
attack.
water for the swimming pools. But anyway,
No, that's chlorine!
yeah, I was saying, you're saying it's like
It's like
chloroform?
not chloroform. Oh,
Uh,
looks like we might have a team fight here. Oh, there's a tackle, but the ulti is used on Gyro and the Mortimer's can still used as well, but looks like they can't chase for anything else.
BKBs are coming out very soon for the PA as well as Ember Spirit. So once that comes out, the only thing that can really lock them down is the duel. So that'll help. You know, once you can get those Oh, and that's something I want to talk about is Brigand's Blade on the Wind Ranger. This is amazing. When you attack so fast, the extra damage really adds up.
Oh yeah, that is true. Your attacks deal 8 more damage to enemies for each 10 HP. They're 10% HP they're missing. That's a good detail to note, you know?
Yeah, but on Wind Ranger, who's a hero who kind of like once you use Focus Fire, you kind of like damage, but the all X bonus is really helpful for her.
They're gonna get that tier 1 middle tower with no consequences. It seems I love seeing when you can see in the mini map all the doodles there.
The purple, it's like go here, then then turn back, then do a U-turn. Come here. I was like, all right, well, yeah, yes, Captain. You know, you say I go that, I'm going that path.
Yes. You say jump, I say how high.
Dire are scanning.
Alright, so BKB is where we have it. The BKB is here. PA, still a bit of distance actually to get to PA, but Ember Spirit does have his. So I don't think you want to fight without PA's BKB. It's just so risky. You need PA to fight, and without BKB, she gets the cold control too easily.
Yes, I do agree with you. I mean, it's hard. Both of these teams without BKB is a very hard game because, you know, on Radiant you have Static Storm, Ravage, Solar Guardian, and you know all other of the small spells. While on Dire you have the Gyro ult, the Mortimer's Kisses, and whatever Rubik steals pretty much.
Dawnbreaker is gonna go for the Aghanims, by the way. So her heal is going to be really good, and but the evasion's kind of useless because you have a PA on your team anyway. So people are going to have MKB as it is. So 60% evasion actually gets you nothing really.
Right. I feel like this early in the game, I don't know. Personally, I just feel like there's maybe other items that are better than Ags per se, but like I don't know. It just feels a bit greedy. I mean, they don't have a global silence, so it's not like you're gonna get cancelled for going in,
That's I mean that is a fair point, right? Like you have to spend 4,200 gold to get a benefit out of it. Until then, you're really not getting that much. The stats aren't amazing. There's a smoke here from the Dire side though. Rubik breaks it, but they do drop awards from the Radiant. Olivia sees it. Minky might be losing her life very soon.
There's a kinetic field. PA looks like she's gonna jump in. Ooh. She does have the BKB still, and the Mortimer is reason she popped the BKB. The Ravage is up also. Bing's getting Ravage and standing in the middle of that Gyro ult. Hazel, she's gonna chase down. Oh, but the counter Ravage by Minky. Very nice steal right there. She's able to walk out on Charity with a triple kill and a godlike healing spree.
Wow, that static, she really held the static storm because I was thinking it must have been on cooldown the whole time. But okay, that's crazy. They do get a buyback from Marci, my waifu, but they easily won that fight. One sort of nice thing for Pacific Pink is that there is 23 damage for the PA. That's gonna help her out a lot.
Right. And they have their Ravage also on Rubik still, so they can technically make a play with that.
And it is going to be with her for a while as well because it is level 2 spell steal. So I think they might wait for Rubik's Blink Dagger because then you can just get a Blink Ravage. No one would expect it.
And it's fun because when you steal that Ravage, you know that it was just recently used, right? So you can basically time when the enemy team has their Ravage as well. Bing's looking at our Dawnbreaker, and Dawnbreaker is just going to melt. Very nice pick off by them.
I mean, Marci, my waifu, it's coming down from the fact that they have the perfect counter to the PA. PA, if she goes in, she gets dueled, and then she can't really rely on her blur to keep her alive because there's MKBs. And she went for this greedy farming though. Oh,
and our Disruptor getting poked at by Xiaoma. Marci, my wife, was definitely looking like a different team as the first game we watched. They look definitely much stronger. They're playing very well and coordinated with each other.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, like they're just. You talked about their no downtime draft with what they have. Like they're always ready to fight. Whereas the other team is like, oh, let me wait for my Ravage. Or Static Storm. And it's paying off for them. Binks is she got 80 damage. She's running around, playing with the Snapfire.
Radiant's
Marci's also
structures are
doing really well for herself. Like, it
Dire's
is...
bottom tower has fallen.
Does Binks have... I think she has a Blade Mail also, which is one of the reasons she's able to actually duel
She
the
does. Yep.
Dire's
And
bottom
it's interesting
tower is
because, you know,
under
it,
attack.
like some of the
Radiant's
games, I feel
middle
like there was a
tower
lot of
is
very
under
notable
attack.
players, but everyone on Marci, my waifu, is playing, you know, just as good as the other.
Yeah, I think the same way. If you have to, I have to give credit. I think Bings has been doing a really excellent job of picking that. There you go. That's not good.
She has. Yep. She's been picking people off really well.
I don't know what to call Dawnbreaker because I don't know what that like sign is, like the double dash. But please stop going to the triangle. That's twice now.
Oh yeah, her name is a double dash. Slash slash dash dash.
They must know that there's like vision here or something because this war's gotten like 2 kills now, possibly more.
Pieces. Dire ult is up. EKB is also popping. The Ravage is used as well. Dire's gonna keep chasing after low life unless they're gonna go for this PA instead. Very smart choice. And PA goes down to Meredy with that MKB doing a bunch of damage and a DD rune too. Wow.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Everything is coming out for the in dire favor right now. At least BKB wasn't used when PA died. She doesn't have a BKB available, as well as buyback. And ouch, you know, like this triangle that the dire has taken over has paid for them so much.
It does. The triangle has caused a lot of deaths. It's you know, one of those cases where you're like, you know, you're a support and you just want to deward because you know they have wards, but if you go deward, you die. But then you're like, oh, but that's why they're killing us, because they have wards, so let me take out the wards, and it's just, you know, a never-ending cycle of death.
It would be, I mean, they could have like maybe smoked together, that might have helped, but either way, it was a very risky thing. And you can see that they're playing on the other side of the map. They're like, alright, the triangle's gone, let's do something else with it. Gyrocopter does have the Aegis though, and she's gonna have it for another 4 minutes and a half, so around the 35-minute mark is when they can fight again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Will they be able to fight? They do have the Ravage. Looks like they're gonna try to defend this tier 2 tower. Xiaoma has her Mortimer's Kisses as well. Pretty much everyone's ulti is up except for the Static Storm. Oh, but now it is up as well. We're looking at maybe a nice fight here if they want to defend. Might be hard though because they have the Aegis, so we will have to see.
Dawnbreaker taking that. What level is she now? How close is she to the? She's got one component of the Aghanim sector, and I'm like, man, this is.
You see what I mean?
Like, this is a lot of gold that you're kind of not able to use. She doesn't have 1,700 gold available, so she could buy another piece if she wants to, but still.
Dire are scared.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think are other options?
I think you might have to go. You can finish with Solar Crest, just so you can give that to the PA, give her extra movement speed, attack
Dire's
speed,
top tower is
armor.
under
Like
attack.
that'll help. You know, like put everything on the PA. Take the the disruptor shards. I love it. I think it's great. You put on the PA, you put a Solar Crest, and you say, PA, go do everything. You know, I'll be useless behind you. You just go kill everyone.
Yeah, I think a Lotus Orb also could be potentially good. I mean, even a Halberd on a pause 4 Dawnbreaker, you know, is pretty viable. And Halberd does look pretty good this game.
Yeah, but Halberds is a little bit more expensive. Like Solar Crest, you can get it right now. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and I don't like People's Gift on a strength hero. I'm sorry, but I feel like the bonus, like People's Gift is amazing on like Agi and Intelligence hero, but on strength, I don't know. I don't like it as much. What do you think?
Plus 14 secondary stats is really big. I mean, I do like it on the intel because yeah, you do get that extra agi, which gives you that extra armor, and you do get the extra health. So you know, as a support, it's kind of nice. You know, you feel a little bit safer. You know, a little extra
Radiant's
safety
bottom
blanket.
tower
But on a
is
strength
under
hero, it's like
attack.
you're already strong, and yeah, you get the extra armor,
Radiant's bottom
and you get the
tower
extra
has
intel.
fallen.
But I don't know. I mean, I could see why, you know, some strength heroes would get it, especially with like a limited mana pool. Maybe it'll help out a bit, but you know, I get what you mean. That you know, it doesn't feel as useful or yeah.
It always makes me feel just a little bit bad. Like I think like, oh, then I could put this on like a Shadow Demon or a Dazzle, and I get so much more valuable stats out of it.
Right.
But you know, she knows what she's doing, and she's going to go with it. What? Then you think, well, what outer items do they actually have? Let's see.
See, I like how this.
I mean, they do have the ceremonial robe and the paladin sword. Like that, you can take one of them, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, I do like how this Dawnbreaker is like using more of the map space to farm rather than just like sitting in the base. I think that's what needs to happen if she wants to get this Ags.
This could actually be a solid fight for the Radiant now. There's only 1 minute left on the Aegis, but they see LC's top, meaning they could bring 5 people here and sort of hope for the best.
Another
Yeah,
double damage rune onto her Wind Ranger as well. That's like her third this game. But the Static Storm is used onto a Gyro with his Aegis. His Aegis is gonna go down, and the Static Storm is also stolen by the Rubik. The fight is going to go to Radiant. Oh, Dire it looks like. The call down also used, and he's just gonna be able to walk up, back in full health because the Aegis is down. Binks is gonna go and just gonna get that extra duel onto the Ember. Very nice pick right there with the cookie. Help stun the other to the front. They get the Disruptor. Our Solar Guardian Queen is very low too. Tidehunter with no Ravage. Gonna try to poke at them a bit. This just felt a little sloppy. I think to use that initial Static Storm onto our Gyro is a bit rough, but
to have it
take
stolen
my
by the
chase a
Rubik.
bit. Yeah, to have it stolen was not good. Definitely not good. Oh, but look, did you notice this? Our PA has 20 dual victory damage.
I pointed it out much earlier. I feel very ignored right now.
What?
because-
What? I had no idea.
Yeah, I said it and I was like, oh, it's so much more damage because it's a PA. She actually got like one of those fights at the Radiant Triangle.
Oh.
Now I know how much.
I was listening. Don't worry.
I'm sure you are. Wow,
But we
we've
have a
been-
19k net worth lead on Dire. That's huge.
Yeah, don't mean to like lay blame, but I don't feel like we've seen much of the Ember Spirit. Like we haven't seen the Ember Spirit be active around the map and sort of get kills and things like that. It's just, PA has been farming. We've seen a few Ravages. We see Dawnbreaker and but it's like, where is the Ember Spirit? Ember Spirit's been involved in 4 kills. They only have 7 overall still, but you feel like you want a bit more from the Ember Spirit, more activity, comparing to like the Wind Ranger, who's just running around the map.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I felt a little lackluster compared to what the Wind Ranger's been doing. Like, since early in the game, the Wind Ranger's been ganking and, making a lot of really good plays around the map. But it feels like, especially as an Ember with those remnants, like, you're able to just, not zip zap, but, like, I guess fly everywhere. It just feels like, there could have been something else better done, but there is the Shackle. Very nice Shackle on PA. And the Static Storm also from the Rubik. Will they be able to get to the PA? They do. Now Merity is chasing after our Dawnbreaker. And there's no escape for the Sun Mommy.
The Stolen Hammer. Oh, there's a duel.
Bing's jumping in with the duel as well. Very nicely done. Plus 200 dual casting is actually such a nice talent. Just helps you it just helps you feel like you're really gonna get those.
Yeah, it's like before you have to really hug them, basically.
Yeah.
Now it's like, alright, I have to smell your breath to duel you.
Oh my, that's kinda nasty.
Well, that's how the Half Strange was like that. It was like basically you have to be face to face with someone.
That is true. Ew.
Well, it's looking pretty much like there might be a last hurrah over here. They do have buyback from the PA as well as Disruptor, but to what end, I ask? To what end?
This PA could get the Satanic, but that would be risking her buyback for the next fight. So honestly, I think this next fight was really a do or die.
Yeah, so might as well go for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like there's gonna be 13 fights coming out. You have this one and you have nothing left, so...
Exactly. And it doesn't look... Oh, well, her Tide and the Disruptor do have the buybacks, but... I don't know, I think once everyone's down, it's just like... PA by herself is just gonna get destroyed by a Wind Ranger with an MKB, a Gyro with an MKB, plus the Gyro has a Satanic as well, her Satanic.
By the way, she disagrees with us. She's actually going to go for the buyback play.
Yep.
Radiant's top tower is
I mean,
under
we'll have to
attack.
see how it works out. Maybe, maybe the buyback will be the game changer or the saving grace. Little cheeky stuns coming out from the gyro, and the Kraken Shell just doing its thing. We're gonna try to poke this tier 3 tower.
All ultimates are available except Mortimer's Kisses.
The stun onto PA.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Hazel's just glimmered momentarily. The dust is popped.
Radiant's
And it looks like
top
they're
tower
just
has
gonna
fallen.
get this rack. Oh, very nice pressy attack also with that spell immunity. Making this gyro hit very fast. Call down is used. Oh, very cool talent also. 3 times call down, gotta love it.
I love how she kind of covered her tracks. Like, you guys want to chase? Here's my minefield right behind me. Good luck catching me.
Right. It's a very cool skill, the 3 times call down.
Most people take the other one, which is the minus black cannon cooldown, which is unfortunate. The cooldown it's really cool, the cooldown.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point in the game, I think Marci could go any talent they want, I'd say. I feel pretty confident for them. I mean, especially like, I know this is a stretch, but I think even Bings could go for the 30 dual damage if she really wanted to. That's how much I think, it's Marci sided.
Yeah, we'll ruin a bit more pubs with that, like, you get the 30 damage talents and you're like, there you go. It's, no, you always go for the AoE. I think just because, yeah, actually you're right. It's really unlosable, isn't it? From
Yeah,
Marci?
that's exactly why I would say, I
Hey,
would
Agnes-
always go
Radiant
with
are
the
scanning.
AoE.
They
pressing
they
attack.
literally have a 0% chance for Pacific Thinking. Why, like? Oh, and Agam just finished on the Dawnbreaker.
Finally! I would like to see some cool Aghanims play, I guess. Maybe instant cast Solar Guardian.
The heal increase is pretty decent. 7 to 9 hours. I mean, not that much. You can get the same amount.
Oh, and there's the shackle, but there's our Ag Solar Guardian. Oh, but it is doing its work! Magic is able to turn back onto Merity, but Merity will survive. And they still do get this Aegis, but the extra heal, it actually did quite a bit.
Now she
I'd
might
say
just.
I mean, I'd say it saved the PA from dying, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, she was pretty low.
And I think, like, Evasion has this a way of stacking that is sort of stacks in a way. It's not much though, but still it helps. It's like an additive stack. It's not, so we got you 60% of 15. What talent did she take? Oh, she did 3 on the corruption. Okay, it's not so bad then.
So here's gonna look like a big fight. We have the homing missile out, but I mean, that's the thing about the pressy attack. You can just keep getting pressy attacks to core and just keep hitting towers, and really nothing's gonna happen to you. Just that extra heal is nice as well. You see, Hazel is just taking down the base by herself. She's the only one in there.
And they're
Well, they
smoking sort of approach from behind, and then they're like,
Radiant's
oh,
middle tower
change
is
their
under
mind.
attack.
We
Hazel
still
will
have the
have Aegis.
Ravage.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, we have the Aegis on Hazel and the Ravage still being held. I think the Ravage would have to connect with the backline, but there's the call down, and oh, the telekinesis though, he's popped the Ravage is not come off either. Bings is there doing the PA, but it looks like she might end up losing the duel. Our Tidehunter is back into base. She did not die yet. Buyback on Disruptor is still available. I think she might want to buy back now, but oh, there's the Ravage onto the Gyro, and the Gyro still has Aegis. Magic is cleaning everyone up from behind. Oh, she's gotten scatterblasted and shackled. Buyback comes from PA. He's on shackled as well. She's just gonna hit that base. Aegis is gonna go down. Tidehunter does not have a buyback. She's dead for 72 seconds, and that looks like a GG with Hazel just hitting the base.
Well played, coming out from Marci, my waifu. Their draft, the way executed, just full on aggression, making sure that they don't give any time for Pacific Pink to just sit and farm. And this is going to be a tough one, because I believe that if we go to a tiebreaker, Pacific Pink not only has to win the next match, they actually have to win it in less time than Marci, my waifu, won this match.
Oh, wow.
Because I think that first thing we have like the head-to-head, and the second thing we have is timer. And since these teams both lost to the same team, their big wins is going to be against each other. That's the difference. So Pacific Pink is in a rough spot. They have to win the next game in less than 42 minutes, but we'll see about that. For now, Marci, my wife, who really love how Bing's played in this game. Like with the way she played with Xiaoma, they were able to use their ultimates together. Minky had great steals. Meredy 15-0-15.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
that
that's
is
flawless.
that is crazy when you think about like how good she played. And Kazel farmed up a storm, highest GPM by far, and was able to just like later in the game just put her in the front. She took all the Raxes. So amazing, amazing play by Marci.
Yeah, I mean, like, Bing's KD is not flashy, but she had such a high impact on the game. Being able to blink in, like, instantly dueling people with the Blade Mail, doing so much damage, taking people out of the fights. I mean, that's the nice thing about Legion. It's like you already have just one person that is for sure taking out the fight, while your rest of your team can just cause havoc. So yeah, Bing's did a great job.
And also, I mean, we saw how many they steal Ravage twice, Static
Oh
Storm twice
yeah.
as well, and you're like, that is, their team fight kind of looks a little bit weaker on paper, but then you have Ravage on your side, and you're like, well, now it looks very, very different.
Yeah, see, there was so much opportunity for the Rubik to steal like really good spells. There was the Ravage, the Static Storm, which she did got the Static Storm a couple times. So yeah.
That is only game one, though. Game two is coming up next. Pacific Pink has to tie to stand the chance, but we're gonna take a short break, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. And we are back to our last game of the last series of the DOTA Open for FSL Season 3. I'm Atoma, and joining me Sophie, where we're going to watch Pacific Pink versus Marci, my waifu. Marci, my waifu took game one, and they took it kind of convincingly. What happened there, Sophie?
They did. They just had really good momentum overall, and they just kept, every time that duel was up, they managed to get it off, get these really good pickoffs, and yeah, they just kind of choked them out, it looked like.
So now Pacific Pink, they are at sort of match point. They kind of need to win this just to even up the even up the score. And they have to win it in a sort of a time limit because both these teams, Marci Waifu has 3 points, Pacific Pink has 2 points, and they need to win this to get the 3-3 and force, well, not exactly tiebreaker, but a time limit sort of thing. But let's go look at the draft and see what they're going with. See if maybe that has an impact on their draft. And Pacific Pink opening up with a Ogre Magi, which you said you hope is a carry Ogre Magi.
I hope it's a mid. It was so much fun watching that. Was the second game of the first series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think took it and, with the Midas, got the day gone. That was pretty fun. Marci, my waifu, going with the Snapfire into the line. Snapfire, huge impact in the first game. Laning stage was okay, but later on with the Mortimer's Kisses combined with the duel from the LC, were able to just shut people down one by one. So they're sticking to that. They're taking the line for just a little bit more burst damage and control.
Do you think this is going to be a 5-line or a 4-line? Usually it would be a 4-line and a 5 Snapfire, right?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people really want to get that Blink Dagger on the Lion, get that mobility. And Snapfire kind of doesn't need as much items. Like, she's good no matter what.
Right.
So, Lion needs items, Snapfire doesn't, and Mirana comes out. So that's going to be at least a 4 Mirana. Ogre Magi looking more and more like a 5.
10 seconds.
It's good to see, though. At least we have both our supports picked with both having stuns. Everyone has a stun right now, which is, more the merrier. But I'm not really a fan of these pick the supports first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the same as you. It's like you show too much of your lanes. Like, I'd like to pick like a 5 and a 3. So that you don't show two lanes straight away. While you pick the 5 and 4, so you're like, okay, I know Marci Waifu will have a pretty aggressive lineup. Pacific Pink, the off laner might be something with a stun to set up the Mirana. The carry could be something that just needs protecting with the Ogre Magi. So it reveals quite a bit when you take the supports early.
Right. And I feel like it's just nice because like a lot of these supports that you could pick are like very good for counter picking cores. But it feels like, I don't know, whenever like a core is picked after the support, it feels like, oh, like I get it. Like cores do just, they just trash supports because they're just built differently, they're just thicker like that. So, but a good support skill can really counter,
Yeah, like we saw, like for example, a silencer versus a mid Dawnbreaker. That would be a huge counter.
Yeah,
it's a support, or even like silencer against like a Bane or a Shasham. Yeah, they're supports, but you're being able to globally counter them is a pretty big deal.
Right.
Speaking of that, I was just thinking, why is silencer not being picked today? I find it kind of surprising.
I don't know, actually. I mean, is a strong hero, but I feel that maybe they're going for these more like team play, like big skill heroes. Because I mean, sometimes you have your global ulti, and then when it's over, it's one of those like long cooldown things again, like Ravage,
Mm.
right? But I feel like it's so like, for example, if you have a Tidehunter on your team and you have that Ravage, like what, you're just gonna use global silence after, it's. I feel like by that time you kind of want everyone dead,
I
It's
guess
just
so.
feels kind of awkward.
It's too bad. I hopefully.
Dire
Well, we're not
team
gonna see any silencer this game out of all the sports that have been picked, unless we get really surprised. It turns out it's like, oh look, it's the ogre core and the silencer 5. That might work because Lion Snapfire. Firstly, you can stop the Mortimer's kisses, and secondly, you can really like Lion is nothing without his spells. Like there are some heroes where you're like, oh, Dawnbreaker can at least get some regen off with her luminosity, but Lion just is nothing
5 seconds
with
remaining.
with his
Right.
silence.
Yeah, and I think it's funny also like how we haven't seen any Dooms or any
Hmm.
Magnuses today, especially after all the collapse hype. Like, I'm
The
surprised we just haven't seen any of it.
To be fair, they nerfed the shard on the Magnus a huge
Oh,
deal.
right, that is true.
Like before, it used to be a stun. Now it's just a slow, which means that a lot of people will just be able to like force staff themselves while they're being horn tossed or to
Radiant
dodge the
team
skewer.
pick.
So here we
Right.
go. Gyro Cup coming out. Marci, my waifu, not really like going out of their way with their pick, sticking to their tried and true, and taking that snap by the gyrocopter.
I mean, if it isn't broken, there's no need to fix it, right?
No, why not? Still
10
no
seconds
LC,
remaining.
so there's gonna have to adjust that as well. They did take a different position for this game
5
as well.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
it would be interesting to see what they take as their 3 again because, I mean, since they banned out the LC, like it would have been a good hero here to dispel the ignite and the arrow as well. But now without that, it's looking a little different, looking a little more risky here because I really wonder what she could pick instead of the Legion here.
Yeah, you can't really like get something similar to an Omni Knight or an Abaddon because these are just no longer seen as offlaners like they used to be. So you have to find something else, something with dispels as an offlane. Tough thing to find. But Pacific Pink, they are taking a while. They do need to start setting up those combos. We know that they have the Ogre Magi stun. Are they going to go with some sort of aggressive lane to work with that? Mirana needs someone to step her stun. Slardar, we've seen today work with great success with Mirana. Sand King is no longer in the pool, actually banned. Same thing with the Tidehunter as well as the Mars. So does feel like Slardar, Centaur. What other offlaners are good right now? Bristleback is in the pool, but I'm not sure that's something to pick. And they go with the Earthshaker.
Ooh, interesting. And a Morphling. Ooh, Earthshaker Morphling could be exciting.
Oh my God! Is this 2018 and is this TNC Predator? Like is Gabby here? Is he playing with Armel? What the
10
hell?
seconds.
So
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
excited to see this.
this is the classic Morphling pick. With
5
by the way,
seconds
you don't actually have to go for the Agnums this game. You can just turn to Gyrocopter and take the Flak Cannon. That by itself is amazing.
All right.
I mean, I expect that Morphling will consider. Magic will go for it at some point, but she's not stressed out for it. She can go for other stuff if she desires. Marci, my waifu, though, what's a good laner against the Morphling? They I feel like saying Necrophos, but I think you want something a bit sturdier than that.
I think so as well. I don't know. Maybe it's hard because, well, you do have the initiate with the lion. I feel like it's also kind of risky to leave him to jump in alone. So maybe something like a centaur, like like you said, a Slardar would be nice. Oh, and the Doom! There it is!
Doom is still around. They decided to go with it. So all right. So tanky guy who's in the front who has that scorched earth you can cancel a lot of blink daggers with scorched earth by accidents. I've seen so many Earthshakers walk in and then they echo slam the ground and they're like, "What? Oh, scorched earth!" I didn't realize it's not a very strong visual, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Good Doom pick. Although I don't know, I feel like they need something to hold people down besides the lion. Like, what's stopping people from just running away?
Remaining.
Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. Like some kind of AoE stun or disable of some sort.
Yeah, because it's like once the Doom comes out, these guys can, especially with Moonlight Shadow on you. You Moonlight Shadow, you get that bonus movement speed, and if someone you get fissured or anything like that, you can just run away. So Marci and my wife they need someone to just control, not like keep them together. So give me something in the mid lane.
Yeah, I definitely
Most
love. I
like
mean, you see, they banned that puck. Also, I think they were also thinking the same thing that you're thinking. Is that that's exactly what they need? Some kind of dream coil to keep them all together.
I was thinking, yeah, I was gonna say puck, but it was bad like long, like while I was ranting and raving, and the Void Spirit's out, Ember Spirit's out, as well as the OD. Pacific Pink, they kind of need their own mid laner as well, and they need a mid laner who can get to the back lines, kill that Lion, and get rid of that Snapfire. Lion especially has got to be controlled.
10 seconds remaining.
Dragon Knight's in the pool, but I'm not sure that's the hero you want. Although you would appreciate the front line he brings. Go with the Queen of Pain. All right.
Your favorite Arcana.
I'd say favorite Arcana. I think she had a good Arcana, so that's all I said.
Ooh, Queen of Pain.
Good of Pain. All right. Wait, I mean, what's your favorite Arcana?
I can hear you blushing.
I do not blush. I have a naturally red hue.
I see. My favorite Arcana. I don't know. Actually, I can't say. I actually don't own an Arcana for playing, over 5,000 hours on Dota. I don't own a single Arcana, and I'm quite proud about it, really.
All right, you poor people unite.
Oh my!
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, it's Magic is playing the Queen of Pain. Pretty sure wasn't Magic their carry the previous game.
She was.
So that is interesting. Yeah, but it's gonna be the Bings on the Doom. Kazel is on the Gyrocopter, Merdy on the Lina.
Look at that Doom!
I know, he looks awesome. Like he's got dragons coming out of his like wings or something.
I've never seen that before.
That is really cool. I've never seen the Gyrocopter one. It looks like this old Roman thing, like he's got
the gyro one's so funny because the ship's so skinny.
Oh yeah, it is. It's cute. It's more like he's in a barrel than an actual flying machine. Let's look at the other side. Oh, this is the Queen of Pain Arcana. Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo!
This game is now worth watching.
Oh my god! Wow, look, so pretty. Look at all those effects.
I barely noticed. I just thought it's pretty wings or something.
Oh yes, wings.
Doom. She's played over 200 games with. Oh no, not 200. Actually, 180 games with Doom. Not bad. Bings definitely knows a thing or two about Doom.
Yep.
All right, so pause comes out. What do we think of the draft? Do you have any favorites?
Let's see. I mean, it's kind of hard to say right now. Just looking at the two teams, they both look pretty strong. I do think that maybe the team fight of Dire would be strong because they do have Globs and Call Down. I mean, Mortimer's Kisses and Call Down, and all the mini spells coming out from Lina, but then. And Lion as well, and then Doom just taking out one hero from the fight. But on Radiant, oh my god, that voice line. But on Radiant you have the all the constant spells coming out from Ogre as well as the Queen of Pain just blinking around everywhere, and then hopefully some really big Echo Slams from Earthshaker, and Morphling just doing Morphling things, sustain and hitting, and I guess it depends also what kind of build this Morphling is going for, which should also be interesting. Sometimes you see the Morphling go for like what they get like Manta and they go for like right click, or they just sometimes rush E-Blade. So
I think I'm gonna go with the Dire on this one because they could just Laguna Blade and Finger, someone's dead. Doom, someone's out of the fight, and you have like Gyrocopter. We just saw her in the previous game; she played super well with Kazel. And Snapfire, we also know that's most of your team fight, but it's a lot of team fight. On the other side, it feels like they have to perform really well, to get what they need. Like you have to, Queen of Pain has to land the Sonic Waves, Earthshaker landing the fissures as well as the Echo Slam is a big deal. Ogre really doesn't scale well as a position 5. Like early in the game, you're a great laner, you're sort of a decent team fighter later on because you're tanky. But late in the game, you really don't provide much aside from Bloodlust. Like walking up just to use Fire Blast is so risky. Mirana also is kind of risky because landing arrows can be difficult, and yeah, I think I'm all in. I'm betting my house.
Your house?
Yes, I'm betting my house on the Dire side on Marci, my waifu.
Okay.
All right, let me call my loan shark real fast.
Oh my gosh, the entire house! Wow. That is a strong bet right there. I will bet my um
Like a spoon, right?
yeah, sure, sure. I'll bet my favorite pair of chopsticks. I do
All
have a favorite pair
right.
of chopsticks actually. They're lightsabers, but I just thought
Oh, that is actually pretty cool.
yeah, they are pretty cool.
30 seconds.
But
I'm, I'm,
anyways,
I'm surprised Mickey and Bings didn't get punished, and they might be
oh
punished now.
yeah,
Arrow
as you
comes
just said,
out.
the arrow connects with the Fisher and the Fire Blast. But the LSA gets 3 heroes. Very nicely done, Magic. Using the Shadow Strike just to poke some.
I mean, I thought that for sure the die was going to lose someone when they walked up. It's like Light and Doom. So they're holding hands, walking up a hill by themselves, like 4 people are there. And somehow they made it out. But then the Earthshaker was like, no. That's not going to happen. And oh, that's 3 bounties for Marci, my waifu.
So yeah, and I wonder now which build the Snapfire is going to go. If she's going to max the Little Shredder, if she's going to max the Scatter Blast and the Fire Snap Cookie.
I mean, she already has a point in Little Stretch. I feel like it's probably she's gonna max it out, you know.
And she does have the Blightstone, yeah.
And you go for that Solar Crest build. I find it very interesting that Queen of Pain gets magic from her dagger now. It's such a weird buff for the hero to receive.
Oh yeah, I never noticed also how long the description for Shadow Strike is.
Alright, let me actually go look at that because
Look how long it is.
that's a novel. That's not a. I mean, it's like what? Wait, like 8 lines of text.
I know, just for a dagger that does damage over time and heals
Yeah,
Sprintic,
but it
apparently.
does a lot of things actually. It heals you, it damages them. It's 15 seconds. It's also a slow. The cast rage, like there's so much info. Creeps heal you for half the damage. There's a lot to learn in this.
Actually, yeah, I never noticed that it does a heal.
Oh, that's the latest buff though. It came out very recent.
Oh.
And it's one of the it's a very odd buff because you would think that Queen of Pain is always about damage. And suddenly she gets like a buff that gives her HP when she uses a spell.
Yep.
Aw.
I mean, she's the Queen of Pain, not the Queen of
Love.
cute little heals. Yeah, Queen of. I mean, pain is love, right?
That's definitely a theory some people subscribe to, you know.
I mean, oh, there's the
Oh.
Fisher as well as the Enchant Totem on Hazel, but it will not be enough damage to take her down. But yeah, I mean, if you feel pain about something, it's because you love it.
Well, I mean, that is some. I don't know about that, but they do say that the opposite of love is indifference, so that's something.
Yeah.
It's like if you ignore something, that means you really don't care about it. Doom's having a problem. She's got too many items, and she's not sure what to put in the backpack. She's like, I kind of need the tangos, but I also need the quelling blade, and I got the extra armor. It's like, whoops.
I think the Quelling Blade should take priority over that one Iron Branch, though.
I agree with that one at least. You know, it's like you could use, or you could even move away the tango. It's the only thing that you don't like, unless you use it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
But Bings has played almost 200 games with Doom, and I've played like 3. So I feel like I'll let her decide on that one.
Yeah, I definitely haven't played that many on Doom. It's just such a weird hero for me. I mean, like, Infernal Blade is always also very confusing for me because the range of Infernal Blade is so small. It's like, am I really stunning them? Like, what is going on here? Is it a burn, a stun? What?
It's a stun. It's a 0.6 second stun. That's something.
Yeah, that is, I guess, something.
But, yeah, I know what you mean. Like Doom, at the beginning you're thinking, oh, I should farm because I have a farming tool, but I also have this ability that fights, and I mean, more important than Infernal Blade to cast. It takes a certain type of player to really play Doom well.
Right.
And we are not that type of player.
Obviously not, or else we'd be playing, right?
Well, we could play after this. Like, that has to be something. You ever have that? You watch Dota for 8 hours, and you're like, man, I really want to play some Dota. I feel like I haven't been in the game client for a while.
Yeah, that is true. It's different though, watching and casting. It's like, oh, watching all day I could, after watching TI all day. But casting is, my brain is dead,
It's definitely not an easy thing, and we have been at it for like 7 hours and a half now.
Yep.
You know?
Ooh, Shalma. Taking some hits from the Enchant Totem.
So,
I love the taunt of the Mirana.
The spinning thingy.
Yeah, it's like a what do you call this? The carousel.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I like Undying's. I like his
Oh
taunts.
yeah, it's like a thriller.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I like Lion's one as well when she does the
Oh yeah.
dance.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. First blood comes out in the
and
top lane.
Xiaoma's down.
I think that's something that you might expect. You are up against not the toughest lane, Earthshaker and Mirana, but definitely you can set up Fissure into Arrow, into Enchant Totem, into a couple of hits, and just lose your life. So Xiaoma is going to be taking the hits for her carry, and that's what a good friend does for you.
A good friend. That is true. I'm excited to see how this offlane Earthshaker works out because it's not something that I particularly see very often in my pubs, but when I do see it, oh my goodness, it is so pain. Just an Earthshaker alone with treads and that enchant totem is just a disaster.
Yeah, it's crazy how much damage that you can do with that. If only he had a Fey, sorry, if only she had a Fey grenade to go with it. You know, that would be super good. Well, I'm wondering now. You know, now that you told me about the Queen of Pain description, I'm thinking, what is the longest description spell in the game?
Oh, I feel like I know this.
It's like one of those things that we should know because
Yeah.
I bet you something like Arc Warden's Ultimate, you know, where it's like so much to it.
Yeah, there's someone with like an insanely long description. I just can't remember who it was.
And Naomi keeping the lane pushed, always making sure she's using arrow for the range creep or just not for the siege creep. Just making sure that it's always pressed on to the enemy side, and there goes another finger.
Yeah, nice Fisher. This ES can just use a bunch of mana, however she likes. She has the soul ring, so she'll get that mana back.
And this Marci, my wife, despite everything, like giving away first blood, they're actually 1k ahead. They are winning all their lanes in terms of the CS score, and that's scary. If you are Queen of Pain, you are gonna have to make work some magic. Last game we did. Oh,
there's a Fisher there. Arrow connects as well. So does the Cookie, but the Cookie might have pushed Kazel too much in front. The enchant totem does come off, but is it enough damage? Naomi's gonna leap, but will she go after Kazel? It does not look like it. The salve is used onto Kazel. It's time to heal up. We do have the Fisher in 3 seconds to maybe cancel whatever is left of it, but we will not be doing that.
Yeah, so
The Cookie comes out. Ooh, and a very nice little shredder with a stun from Gyro as well. Homing missile does connect, and so does the Fisher, but our magic is in! And Naomi leaps in, uses her arrow and her Star Storm to take down the Gyrocopter.
Much needed. Like that is like Magic needs to be doing this to make sure that her team like stays ahead. I mean, they're not ahead right now, but to actually get the lead and diving in for Xiaoma. No mana on Magic. It looks like Meredy is here as well, and that's the little shredder coming
Oh,
out. No,
she could have used that mana to blink out, but now she's kind of stuck there. A bit greedy to use the Scream of Pain.
and at the end of the day, it kind of comes out as pretty good for Marci, my waifu. After all, when the Lina came out, she had farmed to the mid a little bit more. She just TP'd in. She didn't have to sort of walk. I think the Queen of Pain walked there. That's costly. I actually check just to make sure. Oh no, she TP'd top. Oh, that's kind of bad. Now she can't TP for 20 seconds. She's gonna have to walk back to the lane.
But she might get this Naomi Mirana with that Laguna Blade. Ah, and there it is. So I wouldn't say it's that costly anymore.
Oh no, I meant for the Queen of Pain. She TP'd top and
Oh.
then she died. Now she's gonna have to walk all the way to the lane. And you can see she's actually in the minimap. She's walking there, lumbering. It's the walk of shame. That's the walk of shame.
Yeah, and with that level 1 blink, it's not like you can blink across the map with such a long cooldown.
Well, at least the Sonic Wave will be available in about 40 seconds. And Doom is just enjoying life. Solo bottom, doesn't need anyone to help her out. Goes in. She's maxing out Devour, which is very greedy. But if no one's killing you, you don't care.
Ooh, and it looks like they might have. Oh, the Doom is off, but the Strength attribute shift is being used. So it's kind of, a wasted Doom, I would say.
Definitely a very wasted Doom.
I didn't want to put it so bluntly.
She's nice. She's much nicer than me, but yeah, that is a wasted Doom. And Mary just walking up to them, but looks like that might one match.
Ooh, but the arrow, nice arrow by Naomi, but she will be able to just right click. Oh, but the Sonic Wave comes out onto Meredy. Magic might be able to get Kazel, but they don't have any more stuns. The arrow is on cooldown, so
Hunting bounties.
nice pick off on Meredy.
a lot more active this game than the previous game on the Ember Spirit. Like, at least it feels like the Queen of Pain maybe more her style.
Oh, but Magic was the PA, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. They swapped roles. You're right. I forgot. I forgot about that.
Right. Wait, who was our mid last game again? The Ember
Is
was
under attack.
NM? Or no, was it Low Life? It was Low Life, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Where's Lilith now?
The Morph.
Where? Yeah, they swapped roles. The carry is in the mid laner.
Radiant's middle tower
I think that
is under
Team
attack.
Liquid, when they won TI7, they did that as well with Miracle. They had him
Oh.
swap roles sometimes if they need him to.
Dire's top
Actually did not
tower
know
is
that.
under attack.
Ooh,
Which is
little
weird because
Tumblr's
you think, you think like the mid role is so specialized that you gotta be like a real specialist to take it. But if if you're better with the other hero, then just someone else will take it.
Yeah, I think it's when you just like that versatile. It's anything goes really. And there's the Fisher connecting with the arrow. The enchant totem will come off. Some big damage from some right clicks. Minky is gonna try to walk away, but there's no escape with that extra leap.
I oohed for no reason then.
Ooh, those 3 leap charges are really crazy. Like, I remember when wasn't it just a 1 leap charge before?
Yeah, but it was like 700 range. No, then they
Oh, right.
I know, actually it was like, and it increases, it was like 700, 750, 800, 850, something like that. So you could like literally jump from one side of the river to the other.
Right.
You felt like you were really on a tiger back then. now you leap and you move like 2 feet and you're like, well, I mean, I moved, I guess.
You're on a little cat this time.
That's like a kitten. It's not the same. Oh, arrow?
Yep. Arrow does
Ooh.
not connect.
Feels like this was really close to hitting both of them though.
It was. Bings is just being left alone to farm. That's really big for a Doom.
I mean, she does have the highest net worth at 6k net worth with the Midas, with the maxed out Devour. And again, if you're not being punished, like, why the hell would you go anywhere else?
That is so true. Like you said, if your lane's going fine, no need to leave.
No, she's just chilling right there. Snapfire does have the ultimate available now. And what's the... Do Dire have to do anything is the question. I kind of think they're going to be fine. Like, if this just goes into Farm Fest, I think Dire's perfectly happy with that. One, they farm better, thanks to Doom. Secondly, their late game seems really strong.
Yeah, and this Jara is also just, getting fat as well. But it's kind of nice, though, because, this is a little free XP for our little ogre here. Just staying in the lane. Not really going to die, because, I mean, the kill potential of Doom alone maybe is definitely not as high, with another hero with her. But, yeah, this ogre is just getting a free lane, some free XP. Doesn't have to worry that much, so.
Now they smoked up here. They want to get into a fight and
Ooh, nice Earth Spike connected with the LSA. Merity just right clicking the ES to death. Ooh, Minky almost getting caught by that arrow.
Quick on her feet though. She was like, I'll dodge it. And by the way, we saw the Laguna Blade. No, actually, we didn't see Laguna Blade. Sorry, just the finger. I thought Laguna Blade was gonna come out and we just see the double, like lightning and green lightning. And someone just dies. I'm like, that's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm very interested by the build of Minky. It's the 3 levels in mana drain. What do you usually, when you play a line, do you do this as well?
No, I'm pretty sure the stand build is just to max Earth Spike, then you max out the mana drain because a hero with no mana is useless.
Right.
But
ooh, the Echo Slam committed to Bings alone. Bings will hold her Doom. She's just getting hit by the tower, and Merity's here to save the day. Bings looks like she's gonna back off. So it's kind of like what happened a while ago, Bings used the Doom onto Morphling and nothing really happened. This time it's the Echo Slam used onto Bings and nothing really happened.
I was gonna say, I was like, oh, the first ulti by the offlaners on both teams has been pretty, lackluster to say the least.
Well, at least they're trying.
Then they can be like, look, it's on cooldown. I used it. What more do you want me to do?
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if I guess if you use Mana Drain on like the Earth Spirit, the Earth Shaker or the Ogre, you can really get them to no mana in like 3 seconds. That's a big deal. But,
that is actually.
But I mean, on the other hand, you could just stun and kill them. Oh, Morphling doesn't have much mana either. Look at that mana pool, 500 only.
Our Lion is extremely fat though. That's a 13 and 30-second blink.
Holy crap, she has blink already.
That is very fat.
Yeah, she has the blink. Oh. By the way, she went for the 3rd point Earth Spike, which I'm surprised by because level 4 mana drain is the best level. It doubles the mana drain from 60 to 120.
That is
You know,
true.
1, 2, 3 is like fine, but 4 is the best.
I agree with you there.
And Earth Spike, for some reason, she's like she is a very confusing Lion player, Minky.
Minky and Binks do have their blinks though, so this is like anyone who can die. Oh, and like we said, anyone can clearly die. A bit overkill though with the Mortimer's Kisses, but I mean for the pause one, that's a good job. Good job smoking.
She is definitely dead. You know, she was like doomed, then they got the finger, and it's like, all right, 3 ultimates.
Yep.
But
plus the agi, gain was all the way up. I don't think, even maybe the finger didn't have to be used.
I think so too, because you can just stun her down in time, but
Yeah.
They knew what they wanted. And looks like Radiant, though, they say, alright, 3 ultimates are down, let's smoke, let's see what we can find. And they know that Lion is here because they see her. Looks like Lion is going to be the victim here. And can she make that arrow? Oh, right in the back.
Right in the butt.
Right in the upper thigh is what we say.
I see.
Yes.
The upper thigh.
Well, it's looking again like it's pretty Marci, my waifu favorite. Yeah, they just caught a kill on the Lion, but they had to smoke up for that, and they killed the Lion. Yes, she's a fat, she's a well-fed Lion, but still not a big deal. Plus, you use her. Oh, actually, no, fingers available. Huh. They must have came out just now.
Yep. So they could technically go back. I mean, they don't have any Doom, so it might be hard for them to really want to commit to a team fight. And they don't have Mortimer's Kisses as well, but they do have the finger, so really the Lion could walk around with the Lina, just them two. It'd probably just take out anyone.
Well, mid lane is going to be where they need to hold the stand. There's no Doom, there's no call down, but there's no Mortimer's Kisses. So there's like 20 seconds where they have no ultimates. It's a big opening for the Radiant side, who does have everything available for them.
Merity could get a big stun. There's the LSA. Minky with the Earth Spike as well. The Ignite slowing Minky down. Olivia's quite deep-ish, trying to chase down Minky. The cookie to help him get out. Help her get out.
By the way, this is a pretty good game to go for the shard on Lion. Because you're up against like a Lina with Laguna Blade, so you might be able to block that. Finger of Death, you could block that. There's been a lot of Flak Cannon charges. I wonder if each Flak Cannon hit sends back the Fireball.
Oh,
Kazel?
yeah.
Kazel!
The arrow connects. The MLS is also popped as well as the Ignite and the Scream of Pain. No need to use the Sonic Wave. Very nice pick off by them. But it looks like they might be able to get this Morphling as well. The pause one for a pause one. Ooh, but a nice counter Echo Slam. That is exactly what we've been waiting for. And the arrow does not connect to Bings, but we do have the Enchant Totem ready and the Scream of Pain as well. Our ES is just gonna chase after Bings, no biggie, while the Scorched Earth comes off, but beautiful Echo Slam.
With a global lineup as well. They killed someone bottom and then they teleport all the way top. And yes, it is. You're a big fan of the big Echo Slams. Like every time it's like big Echo Slam. And that was a great one though. Like catching 3 people like that. It's surprising that they still went for the morph. I feel like you either hex the morph or you leave. Like you either hex the morph when she's full agi or you don't fight her at all, because dooming her, the animation is too slow. Right. And if you do her if she's full HP, it's like what's the point really? Lincoln's is coming out for the morph, so looks like catching her off guard is just not gonna happen after this.
I mean, it is a pretty nice Lincoln's game. I worry though that it might get easily popped by the mana drain because of how big the range of that is as well. But if the first thing you see is Doom and you have a Lincoln's, good for you. I mean, even with Lina, the Laguna Blade.
But yeah, it only slices through BKB. It doesn't slice through the Lincoln Sphere.
Ah, yes, slice.
The slice.
And Arlena can afford her BKB now, so next fight might be a bit interesting. Sonic Wave does pierce through the BKB.
That was a nice change. I remember when Sonic Wave used to do magic damage and didn't pierce through BKB. That's like pure and better. So, Queen of Pain really fell down, but oh dear.
Kazel just getting destroyed by 4 heroes here, or 5 heroes here at the top lane. a bit of a tricky situation being in that area. I feel like Kaizo should be playing around the bottom. They have that bottom tower, taken. So that's kind of the better place for her to farm. I don't see why that area that she was in, you know,
And
would have
Kaizel in
been any
general
good.
is just not having the same game as she did last time. Last time she was like top of the net worth. Now she's out of the enemy Earthshaker off lane, but Earthshaker kind of doesn't need that many items. He gets a couple of items, and she's fine. She doesn't need to do more. Whereas Gyrocopter, you always want to be at the top. So
Right.
looking at this net worth graph, I think you'd be pretty comfortable if you're Pacific Pink. Like, yeah, they're behind in gold, but they're up against a Doom. You're always going to be behind in gold in this situation.
I wonder if Pacific Pink feel the extra pressure since they're on that time limit. Like, I wonder if. Do you think they know also? Like, that's what they're going to have to deal with is finishing the game under. Last game was about 35, 40 minutes?
No, it was like 42. I think it's like 42 minutes and 40 seconds. So they do have plenty of time to finish the game. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, do you know that you have to finish it pretty fast?
Yeah.
Whereas Pacific Pink, they're kind of playing defense. Sorry, not Pacific. Marci and Waifu, they're kind of playing defense. Like, all we have to do, guys, is not lose. All we have
That
to do
is true.
like that's a very interesting way of playing Dota, where all you have to do is survive a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I've never
really wonder if they know. And I wonder if they feel the pressure from that. But we have a 4-man smoke. Oh, the smoke is popped. And Bings gets a big stun from the Centaur stun. Followed by the Mortimer's Kisses. Very nice. The Fisher was not able to stop anything going on there. And they managed to get the Queen of Pain and the Ogre.
Lion's going for a Spirit Vessel. That is crazy.
That's very interesting.
I mean, I guess that you often will get the full benefit of the Spirit Vessel because with your stun, the Hex has like 6.5 seconds, and the Spirit Vessel is like what 8, 9. So you get a lot of the benefit out of it no matter what. But crazy Lion with Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, he's just not like one of those natural Spirit Vessel carriers,
Well, to be fair, he does like being involved in kills. With his finger, he wants to always be around, and the stats aren't bad for Spirit Vessel. All that extra HP.
But it just feels a little weird, don't you think?
I know. It's like, why are you doing this? It doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't seem right.
I haven't seen it before, so I feel it's not right.
Shalma has her Glimmer Cape. Very nice item. And the medallion, she's gonna get a 4-staff next to, which I do like. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite items, the fluffy hat. Very cute.
It's like it's insane amount of HP, right? It's like 125 just for one slot. You buy 2 or 3. I like when people go for it on the Nyx. You get like Magic Wand, Tranquil Boots, and they get like 3 fluffy hats into Aghanims.
Right.
So,
and it's also pretty cheap.
Yeah, so it doesn't cost that much for what it provides as well. Oh, top
Leap
lane.
forward to the line. Oh, but the blink out. Very nice, fast reaction there by Minky.
That's when you tip the enemy. I gotta say, like she jumped in and she used herself. That's when you tip. It's just to make them feel bad while they're in the air.
Oh, but there's the MLS and the Enchant Totem plus the arrow goes off to the Snapfire and the waveform just finishes it off.
It's a position 5 though, so they can't afford losing that. Like if you're gonna be, a Moonlight Shadow is gonna be used for someone, you hope it's your position 5. Queen of Pain is very close to that BKB though, making her basically the prime target to be doomed. Earthshaker is kind of hard to find. Ogre and Mirana don't deserve to be doomed. They're not worthy of being doomed.
Not worthy. They need the honor of being doomed.
Morphling is undoomable. So it has to be the Queen of Pain.
That is true. I wonder if the Queen of Pain is going to get a Lincoln's.
Did she still have that old thing at level 20?
Oh, the spell block, right?
Yeah, 18 seconds. She still has it.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, it doesn't feel like level 25. You have to get the spell block. I'd rather get the blink cooldown, especially when you have the shard upgrade.
2 seconds on blink cooldown. It sounds like a little, but it's actually a lot. Ooh,
Yeah, because
Bings and NM. Do they
same
see
thing with,
each
like,
other?
Oh, there's a pause. It reminds me of the doppelganger, 4 seconds off PL's doppelganger. You're like, oh, that doesn't seem like much. It's like, no, it basically makes the hero uncatchable. And I no way you're gonna kill him once he gets that.
Yeah, that's the thing about Dota. It's like every fraction of a second counts, which is like the most insane thing to imagine. It's like 0.4 of a second off cooldown. That's still like a big deal.
When I first started Dota, back when the dinosaurs were around, team fights. My brother, when we were going to play like on with friends, not on a computer against boss, and he was like, "Man, people are much faster. Team fights last like 20 seconds." I'm like, "Oh," because before that, fights would last like for a whole minute against boss, and against people's 20 seconds. Now fights are over in like 2-3 seconds. A good echo slam and Sonic Wave, that's it. The fight's over. So
Yeah, it's very true.
it is crazy. Like it's like 1 second here, 1 second there, and it's just a huge difference. And 2 seconds cooldown off blink is pretty amazing with the shard.
That is very true. And the shard's really cool. I like seeing the animation of the circles. It's very, very cute.
And the way she shows up in the other place as well.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like she has a lightsaber, doesn't she?
With the whip?
The Queen of Pain, it looks like a bit like a lightsaber.
Sure. Like a bendy lightsaber, I guess.
I mean, aren't lightsabers naturally bendy?
Are they? I mean, they go the womp womp. They don't bend. I mean, they're like straight. They just look like they bend because of the light, I guess. Right?
I guess so. I mean, to be fair, I don't know much about Star Trek, right? That's where.
Are you messing with me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wow! Look at that Earthshaker.
What a place to be.
Right? Like you gotta have real. You gotta be real brave to stand there. And Earthshaker's gonna go for, I think, the Shadow Blade. It's gonna be fun to see. Silver Edge. Oh man, this reminds me of the old way when you used to play Earthshaker like this. Silver Edge, you enchant totem, you Silver Edge, you hit someone, you just basically send them to the moon with one hit.
Send them to the moon. Oh, we have a 4-man smoke off Dire. Will Marci, my waifu, be able to find someone good to pick off?
Invisibility.
It looks like Bings might see magic. There's the blink in. BKB and the Doom comes off as well. The call down is used. And she is gonna chase after Earthshaker if she can see them. The suck comes off onto Earthshaker and the LSA connects as well. Merity is going in. She's gonna right click and M. But it's so weird. It's like they don't even see them.
They don't.
Hazel has a stun out.
Echo Slam?
And there's the Echo Slam. Very nicely done. Hazel is stuck in the tower. She has the BKB though, so I don't think she'll die. That was a very weird fight there. It looks like they were just looking for each other, but no one can find each other.
And Morphling is still not around, so there's something to be worried about. But Lion comes back in, does land the
Nice
hex.
line hex. And M with a big Fisher. Ooh, but I think it's time for Radiant to retreat this fight. Olivia's gonna go down. She's just gonna get right click in the Scatter Blast. It's gonna finish her off. Didn't that feel a bit weird? Like when they were around the tier 2 tower, it looks like they were just searching for each other, but they couldn't find anyone.
I mean, I believe Moonlight Shadow was used, so there was just no way they could catch them. And that's the clear. Only had a TP scroll, but it's the humanity of it. The disrespect.
There's a Sonic Wave and the Scream of Pain taking out the Gyro.
I think overall, the entire skirmish kind of comes off as even. You lose the Gyrocopter as well as the Lina, but and they do lose the top tier 2 as well. That's a bit of a problem for the Dire side, because you can see Radiant, Pacific Pink, they're like, okay, we'll just go take the Roshan.
Yep. And I don't think they're going to be able to contest that Roche. They don't have Murderous Kisses, they don't have Finger, they don't have Doom. It's going to look like a free Roche for Radiant.
And then
Lina is going to make her Silver Edge soon as well.
So if you are on Dire side, you don't really want to fight for the next 5 minutes here. Morphling is just unkillable for them. It does have the Aghanim Scepter, by the way, so we are going to be seeing the Slam Dunk coming out from the Morphling. So that's always a lot of fun. However, I believe that you don't get the extra cast range that you used to with Morphling, with the Aghanims now. Used to provide you with extra cast range. Does it? That was removed actually. Something was removed for it, or the mana cost. Let me check.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to kill this Morphling, especially with that Lincoln Sphere as well. You're gonna have to go through the Lincolns, the Aegis,
Oh,
all
sorry,
that
cooldown.
strength.
The Scepter no longer reduces cooldown. Was it? I was like, to do something, but I wasn't sure what it was. So it does not reduce cooldown anymore like it used to. We both don't play Morphling, so we're like,
Yep,
so
definitely.
you can tell.
Will they do
However,
something?
besides Morphling farming, I don't think that there's much to worry about if you are on the dire side. Like, yeah, Morphling late game is extremely terrifying, but the Queen of Pain with the shard is also pretty dangerous. But Earthshaker, he's not farming, so she's not farming very well, and a BKB or a pipe can sort of reduce a lot of her impact. But that's a Moonlight Shadow. That's probably a dead Jauma.
That is definitely going to be a dead Jauma. The Fisher connects, and so does the arrow. Very nice plays by the Earthshaker and the Mirana together. They're always connecting the Fisher and the arrow.
And that's a quickening charm available.
Ooh, they're going to chase Minky. Oh my gosh, and the hasted, look at that hasted fish and the double Fisher. Oh my gosh.
And this might be something you have to be worried about if you are on, a fan of Marci, my waifu, because like these double bulls coming out of nowhere with their fissures, their enchant totem is very scary. Olivia though,
absolutely terrifying. Ooh, but Things isn't able to get the BKB off as she is perma stunned. Meredy is just gonna TP out with her BKB.
But that's huge. You just got the highest value target in the game, and you traded him for the enemy position 5. But although there's a Philosopher's Stone, I think, on the Ogre, so keeping his net worth up a bit.
Sorry, the what?
Philosopher's Stone? The money stone.
The money rock, yes.
The money rock. It's like, I gotta say it just right.
Yep, just right.
By the way, Olivia is going for Aghanims on the Ogre Magi. That is... by the way, and remember, we only have 12 minutes left in the game for them to finish it. She's like, I would usually get Midas in this stage, but not this game. This game I have to go fast.
Huh, yeah. I mean, the Ags on a Pods 5 is very... You know, I mean, she has the mana boost, she does have the Force Staff, but maybe a Glimmer Cape would be kind of helpful here. But I guess they do have a lot of detection on their side because there is the Mirana with that MLS, so they're always going to be carrying the dust, they're always going to be carrying the sentries.
And the other side, I mean, their magic damage is less of a... It's still a threat, but it's not the same as their physical damage, you know, from the Gyrocopter, from the Lina. That's where most of the damage is coming from, especially with that Silver Edge on the Lina, and Gyrocopter is going to go for that Scotty, or more stats than pure damage, but still, that's something where you're going to be more worried about.
This game is definitely feeling a lot more even, but I really want to see this Morphling make some plays with that Aegis. I really don't want to see it go to waste, and, you know, I want to see some cool, like, big, you know, big shapes of fissures, you know? Like some X fissures, maybe a V, a triangle, you know?
I love it when they do the V and you're like, oh, they're coming at you from 2 angles.
Oh, and you're stuck. Oh, there it is. Low life using the Fisher. Oh, and there they go with the LSA and a BKB pop by Meredy, but low life is able to absolutely delete Xiaoma. The homing
I have
missile.
to say, I hate the Enchant Totem Aghanim upgrade. It's just so bullshit. Oh, it's like all of a sudden he gets this ability to fly.
Yep, and Olivia will get taken out as well.
Oh, by the way, before it used to be worse. Before you couldn't root the person, so even if they, you hit them with the Rod of Atos, they just jump away like they don't even care. So I'm at least grateful. Yeah, it used to be even more fun than it is now.
I did not know that. What a hero, though.
Yeah, Gyrocopter getting close to that Satanic, I believe. That'll help once they start doing a bit of man fighting. Goldlade, though, slowly shifting to Radiant's side, and Lava is just going to that Morphling. Morphling, just all the gold's being funneled towards Morphling. The Aegis does expire, but how are you realistically going to kill them? Even like 61% chance for Radiant to take it.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna kill this Morphling, they really have to come out of nowhere, you know? They have to hide, the line has to get in that Hex before Morphling can strength shift. It's definitely gonna be really tough, but I think it's still possible.
Yeah, as long as as long as the Hex comes out at the same time as the Doom, it doesn't really matter which one hits. You know, as long as
Right.
one of them hits, that's gonna be a dead Morphling regardless.
Right, and I mean the Morphling doesn't have the BKB also, so there's still potential to get perma-stunned here. There's still a possibility to die.
I mean, I find all right, Morphling's coming bottom, and M is walking
Ooh,
towards
Magic
us. Like,
jumping in bravely. Bings, oh, both BKBs are popped, and the Sonic Wave is used. MLS is used as well. They're just gonna TP out, I guess. There's nothing to stop them.
Radiant's bottom tower
oh, that's
is
so
under
cool. They're like, all right, let's just get out. We're in trouble. And
Yeah,
remind them,
actually.
they only need 10 more minutes to not throw the game on Marci's side. Like, that has to be that they're thinking right now. Now, if they know the rule, they're like, just 10 more minutes and we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny how they both decided to TP at the same time. They both like just disappeared. Smart and fast thinking.
Olivia's sticking to that Aghanim build. I love it. Like, I think it's so crazy. And who's gonna
Ooh,
be?
there's the Hex onto Mirana. Mirana's gonna get. Oh, but a big Echo Slam to counter! The call down is used. Magic is gonna try to get Bings down. Bings is very low. The Morphling's Lincolns does get popped. They're both LSA and stuck. Naomi is trying to arrow in, but it does not connect. Bings still living with the last piece of her life left. And our
Just
Queen of Pain
denied.
died. Ooh, nice deny. And the Earth Spike onto her. Yes,
There's
but
an X shape.
wow, this Morphling is just too strong. Look at that! Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. She is shifting perfectly.
They have the buybacks if they want to use them, which they might consider. Roshan will be coming up pretty soon, and the pause comes out here. All right, what's this one for? And yeah, it's crazy. I'm surprised that they took sort of a while to kill Mirana. By that time, the Echo Slam came out, setting the whole fight up for Pacific Pink. Pacific Pink looking pretty strong here. They just need to hold on for keep this pace up for 8 more minutes and they can win the game.
Right. I mean, also here, it's like, does Selena want to buy back? They don't have the gyrocopter, and they still have Doom, though. Actually, they have 4 ults up.
So Sapphire. Oh, yeah. There we
go. There is a chance to defend this, but it doesn't look like they're going to buy back. Looks like they're going to give this free middle rocks. Ooh, and the kisses coming out.
NM's looking for the Snapfire.
Ooh, NM getting hit by all those towers. That's quite painful.
And that is going to be at least 1 set of racks. And they Pacific might go for more. They're like, well, they're not buying back. Why the hell should we stop? You know, why are we going to go for another round? Instead, they get the melee racks mid. They're going to go bottom lane, just get another melee racks. And no gyrocopter. No buybacks are being used.
Ooh, and a nice pick off onto this lion with this Fisher. Morphling coming in, and this lion is just gone like that.
That feels very fair. That always feels good when you're just walking out minding your own business and the 2 space cows show out of nowhere.
Space cow. Wow, that is rough. That is 3 racks taken. 1 set and another melee rack.
And they also have buybacks available for pretty much all of Radiant's sides, so it is very risky. Looks like Heaven's Halberd might be the item for Doom. I like that. He has the Doom available. Is he going to use it? Does not.
Yeah, I think it's better for Bings to peace out here. The arrow does connect, so it's looking like a little tricky. Your Morphling is kind of far. The MLS is popped. The LSA does connect to the ES, and so does the Laguna Blade, but she's just going to Shadow Blade away. Bings use the Shivas onto Olivia. The Fisher connects as well. Oh my gosh, look at that damage. That is disgusting. You have this Eye of Scotty also onto Low Life. I think that was just picked up, was it?
Oh god.
And there's the Fisher onto the Snapfire. They do have buybacks on Doom and Lina. The Lina buyback comes out. The line is just absolutely melted. It is looking extremely grim for Marci lovers. The call down is used. Hazel does have the BKB. She does not have a Satanic yet, but she does have an Eye of Scotty. The damage of the Sonic Wave is just too strong. Merity is trying to run away. The LSA does not connect to anyone.
And Pacific Pink.
My.
Yeah, there you go. GG's call by Marci, my waifu, because Pacific Pink looks basically unbeatable at that stage of the game. I like how you're talking for like 2 minutes. I was just sitting here like open jawed. You know?
Oh my.
Pacific Pink, we didn't see any sort of Mortimer's kisses, any fingers, anything. Just one by one, they were like stacking their deaths in a way, and they
Mm-hmm.
never had a team available. For Marcy, my wife, who specifically played this beautifully double Lincolns just to nullify the advantage of the Doom, and it is crazy. Marcy, my wife, who had such a big advantage, but it just doesn't matter when Pacific Pink had that Aghanims on Morphling.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think Marcy definitely played the first game much better because what it felt like was, they were playing a lot around Bings because she was hitting, those timings where she had the duel and so she could just use them, whatever. But I feel like they didn't really play around with Bings, even though she was probably the strongest player, in the early game because, when she had that Doom, her supports didn't really come to her and help get, secure those kills rather. It was kind of just there was a lot of dead space and it was a bit awkward. I mean, she was getting all that extra farm, but
Mm.
they could have gotten a couple people down, at different times. So
Yeah, it's like there's no real value in getting all this gold if at the end of the day you'd really it translates to nothing. You become this giant money bag. That anytime people kill you, you give them, oh look, I'm a pinata. Here's all my goodies, for killing me, and that's kind of felt like what Bings had. Unfortunate, of course, because
right.
she played really well in game one, but game two, it's a very different pace with the Doom, and uh, the team just couldn't really work with that.
Right. Yeah, it just feels like this game Pacific Pink really like there was one point in the game where it kind of just turned around.
Mm.
Was it
I
that
think
fight in the bottom jungle?
the one was the one. There's like it came with an echo slam. There was one time when there was a good echo slam,
Yeah.
and the bottom fight I know you were talking about was because they were all looking around. Sorry, my
Yeah.
wife was looking for people. And they're like, we have no detection, we have nothing, we can't find them, and that felt sort of so useless for them.
It felt like they were fighting under that tier 2 tower, and it was just a lot of pain was taken there, and it was I don't know. It just felt like in general Pacific Plank they salvaged. They it didn't seem like they were ahead at the start, but they really like salvaged everything, and they put it together at the end. While Marcy, my wife, they weren't able to take advantage of the advantage that they had already.
I also like the role swap. I thought that Magic played mid really well, whereas in their previous game, I'm not sure who it was who was playing mid, but like they on the Ember Spit, but that was a very farm heavy. They switched around so that the farmer's on the carry and the mid laner wants to kill everyone. And I was like, oh, well, that's perfect. That's what you want on your Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it was. I mean, overall, it was a really good day of good games. I think, I wouldn't say. Well, I'd say maybe like one or two games were a bit one-sided, but generally they felt like it could have gone either way.
Yeah, and we want to thank everyone for tuning into the DOTA 2 Open FSL 3. And, Amatomo, this is Sophie. We saw 3 games today. Do we have brackets? I wonder if we'll see if production tells us if we have brackets. We don't have brackets. We're going to show you the brackets tomorrow. We're not going to show you any brackets. If you guys, there's a website, we'll link you to it, and then you can check it there. But in the meantime, we are going to call it for today. We want to thank Intel and Yahoo for making this tournament possible. We want to also thank all the teams that were eliminated today for joining the tournament. I mean, you may have been eliminated from the tournament, but you're not eliminated from our hearts. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time to crown our champion of FSL Open 3 tomorrow. So see you guys, and have a good night.